Hello, dear all. This is your social science class, and today we will continue chapter number 10 of history, that is, New Empires and Kingdoms. This is part 3 of this chapter. Let us begin with the first topic of today's video, that is, a new kind of army. Like earlier rulers, some of these kings maintained a well organized army with elephants, chariots, cavalry, and foot soldiers. So these kings they were having well organized, well stratified or you can say well maintained army with elephants, chariots and they were also having foot soldiers. Besides, there were military leaders who provided the king with troops whenever he needed them. So these kings they have military leaders in the areas where they do not directly rule. So what these military leaders do exactly? They provide king with the military troops. These military leaders, they also maintain this army. But they were not provided or paid regular salaries. These military leaders, they were not paid regular salaries. Instead, some of them received grants of land. That means king used to give them the part of the land or the land. They collected revenue from the land and used this to maintain soldiers and horses and provide equipment for warfare. These military leaders they also collect revenue from the land that they got as a grant from the king. They and what did they do with the revenue? They used to maintain the army or the soldiers. They also provide equipments for warfare. These men were known as samanthas. This system was known as Samantha system and the military leaders they were known as Samanthas. Whenever the ruler was weak, Samanthas tried to become independent. So these military leaders they try to overpower king whenever they thought that king is weak. This you will read in your next class how Danti Durga who was the Chalukya chief overpowered Chalukya ruler. Next, we have assemblies in the southern kingdoms. The inscriptions of the Pallavas mention a number of local assemblies. Assemblies was the group or the organization of people who used to administrate at local level. So we got to know about the assemblies from the inscriptions of Pallavas. These included the Sabha, which was an assembly of Brahmin landowners. So the landowners were the Brahmins. This assembly functioned through the subcommittees which looked after irrigation, agricultural operations, making roads, local temples, etc. So, how these assemblies function? They also have subcommittees, that means they also have a group of people under them who used to look after irrigation, agricultural operations, making roads or temples, etc. The Ur was a village assembly found in areas where the landowners were not Brahmins. So, this term is very important. Ur. This is a village assembly where the landowners were not Brahmins. And another term is Nagaram. It was an organization of merchants, or you can say the association of merchants, which was controlled by rich and powerful landowners. Many of these local assemblies continued to function for centuries. Our next and the last topic for this chapter is ordinary people in the kingdom. So we have talked about the kings, the we have also talked about the court poets who used to write the inscriptions or the prashastis or the biographies of the kings or the rulers. Now we will talk about the ordinary people in the kingdom. We can catch an occasional glimpse of the lives of ordinary people from plays and other accounts. Kalidas is known for his plays depicting life in the king's court. So Kalidas he was the poet and he was well known for his plays and especially for Abhijanam Shakuntala. This was a love story of two people. One was the king Dushyant and another was the woman that is Shakuntala. So he is well known for his play Abhijanam Shakuntala. There was an interesting feature about his plays is that king and most Brahmins they used Sanskrit. That means they are shown as speaking in Sanskrit, and the women or men other than the king and Brahmins, that means ordinary people, they use Prakrit. That means Kings and the learned people or the Brahmins, they use Sanskrit as a language, and the ordinary people, that means women and men other than king and Brahmins, they use Prakrit as a language. So Kalidas was the court poet and he was well known for his plays which depicts the lives of ordinary people also. Now let us see how other people has shown the lives of ordinary people. One of them is the Chinese pilgrim Fain. He has noticed the plight of those who were treated as untouchables by the high and mighty or the high class people. They were expected to live on the outskirts of the city. He writes, if such a man enters a town or a marketplace, there he's talking about untouchable. So if such a man enters a town or a marketplace, he strikes a piece of wood. So that untouchable, that person, he has to strike a piece of wood in order to keep himself separate. अपने आप को अलग रखने के लिए he has to strike a piece of wood. People hearing this sound know what it means and avoid touching him or brushing against him. So this is how we got to know about the lives of ordinary people from the plays or the other accounts such as Fine left an account of whatever he has seen. I hope you liked the video. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.